Welcome to Two Hotties and a Naughty, a podcast about life's little victories, hotties, and constant disappointments, naughties. Here are your hosts, Michael Beck, Hicks, and Dwight Slappe.
Dwight Slappe.
I'm Michael Beck.
And I'm Hicks.
Hey, welcome to Two Hotties and a Naughty. I get to choose our first topic. I feel very powerful. So, boys, we're going to think a little bit outside the box this week. What is your hottiest urban legend that you grew up with? Every town has rumors or, spooky things we all know about the town. And somehow everybody knows them. I don't know if it's handed out in a pamphlet by the Hardys, but everyone knows them. I was thinking about this this week. Mine was at the end of my street. I grew up in the biggest town in West Virginia, Charleston. But at the end of my street, across some railroad tracks, it's always on the other side of the tracks. If you climb to the top of this wooded hill, it's a hill. I don't know why I said mountain. It's a hill. There was a flat rock that we were all told was called the Devil's Tea Table.
Oh, shit.
And that's where Satanists went to sacrifice young people.
I thought they were going to have tea.
Yes. Yours is plugged into the 80s satanic panic.
Absolutely. They were everywhere.
Listening to their Metallica, playing their Dungeons and Dragons, and sacrificing.
And running daycares.
There were just children and pins up on the top of the mountain. It was so loud and sticky.
Waiting for their turn to be sacrificed next.
See, children today wouldn't have the attention span for that. Like they'd be out there.
You have to have
their sacrifice cage, and they just wouldn't look at their phone.
Yeah, children today won't even go outside to be kidnapped by Satanists.
Nope, they want to stay inside where Bluey is.
As a kid, I never thought about it, but there was like a well-worn trail to get to the Devil's Tea Table. Like, nobody was hiding this place. This was a place teenagers and, people have lost their way, went up there to get high and drink. That's what it was.
It sounds like those people have totally found their way.
But we felt like such heroes climbing that mountain to get to the table, but we'd never hang out. We'd be there for like 15 minutes. We'd be like, oh, we got to get the F out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the devil could be here any second.
Mm-hmm. Beelzebub was just waiting behind that tree for you guys. Can I interest you in some Earl Grey? Oolong? Welcome to my table.
Man, the devil watches Star Trek too. Isn't that where Earl Grey came from? Isn't that from Star Trek? Like a Raktajino or a...
Isn't that Earl Grey
Klingon
tea?
blood wine?
I think it's tea, right? Isn't that
Romulan ale?
Green tea?
Romulan ale?
Maybe Snapple. He just comes out with a Snapple and is like, what?
Okay, that's a thing I definitely found in the wild. Would you like a nice kiwi strawberry, fat boy?
That was the best flavor, by the way. I don't care what anybody says.
You there, latchkey boy. I notice you're wearing cut-off sweatpants and a shirt that doesn't really fit anymore. How about a Snapple? There's a fun fact on the bottom. Would you like to hear a fun fact? The fun fact is you're dead now and your soul belongs to me.
Snapple, endorsed by Rush Limbaugh. Also, that's true. He was always shilling it on the show.
Do you think it's spooky up enough for you, kid? Rush Limbaugh's here, too. It's me, the devil, with Rush Limbaugh. Trying to give you some Snapple. Stay up here. We're going to ruin several Pretenders songs.
Man, I know way more about the devil than I do Rush Limbaugh. That's crazy. I'm assuming that was is his theme. Is that was the Rush
Yeah,
Limbaugh?
Yes, yes.
it's a Pretender song called "My City Was Gone," I believe is what the time of this. Yeah, there was a dirty 2-year period when I was in junior high. I was raised by terrible Republicans, and so I would listen to Rush Limbaugh in the car with my dad, and I thought he was funny because he was making. I mean, I was a kid and he was making fun of people.
Right.
So, I read his first book as a 8th grader or a 7th grader. I tell you what, got me a lot of dates carrying that around. All the girls were like, "Woo!
He's
Oh,
gonna
that
be
young
something.
Right. I didn't realize that we overlapped in this way and had both read The Way Things Ought to Be. That's right. I remember the title of that fucking joke. I read its sequel, See I Told You So. That's how up that dickhead's ass I was.
We live, we learn. We live, we learn.
The irony is my dad, at the time, not anymore, listened to a lot of talk radio because he was constantly ferrying his sons around to children's theater rehearsals. So he spent a lot of time in the car.
He was trying to balance everything out.
Trying to balance things out.
Hoping it'd rub off on you guys, but no luck.
I guess we'll go to the theater instead of doing a hard day's work.
Nope, don't want to go to trade school, become a plumber? Nope. All right, fine.
Never heard of
Kids.
trickle down theater.
Yes, known factory foreman / cowboy, my dad. And this is a great transition into what I've decided my urban legend hottie is going to be, coming from the town of Dayton, Ohio. So when I was a little boy growing up, everyone in Dayton just knew and talked about whenever the news came up, in sort of the waning days of the Cold War, how the Soviet Union had more nuclear missiles pointed at Dayton, Ohio, than any other place in the country. And this was, of course, because somehow it was linked into the Wright brothers being from Dayton, Ohio, the inventor of the airplane.
Congress, we have to finally take down Orville and Wilbur. Their hubris has vexed us for too long.
There's an Air Force base, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, outside of Dayton, Ohio, that also hosts the Air Force Museum. So I'm sure that was connected to the Russians' rage in our medium-sized Midwestern town. And I love that at no point did it ever come up in the discussion in Southwest Ohio. Cincinnati is a much larger city and it's only an hour away. Or I hear tell of cities as large and glamorous, as powerful as Detroit or Chicago, or a mythical place called New York or Washington, D.C., where the government is. No, none of these places. Dayton, Ohio.
We had, I hate to break this to you, we had the exact same urban legend in Charleston because of the chemical factories and the chemical plants.
Yeah, everybody had it in this area, honestly, because there's so many chemical plants within like a stone's throw of all these places. It's just like, I had it too in Podunk, I'm not going to say it because coming up soon, I'm going to reveal my urban legend and I don't want to disclose too much.
I'm now thinking about I'm thinking about all the people during the Cold War walking around in glamorous Los Angeles or Boston saying, I can't wait for all those fucking rubes in Dayton, Ohio and Charleston, West Virginia to just take it on the chin when the Russians attack.
I wanted to take out all the Rax restaurants.
Oh, no!
That's it.
I'm glad you saw through the veil of ignorance, Slice, and realized what they were really after.
Yeah. They wanted to keep
reasonably
us
priced roast beef sandwiches.
right. Exactly. They know they take those out. Then our good fighting young men and women couldn't go out there, be sustained with all that protein on the cheap. And, they take that out, we'll just be a bunch of puny, I don't know what we're going to eat. McDonald's fries, chicken nuggets. No, give me that Rax.
Like the Ruskies, they're scientists and engineers. We're very good, and they made a very fine roast beef sandwich, but it just couldn't compete with what the free market system in our nation could produce.
One of my urban legends was it was really camel and not roast beef, but that was just one of mine. Ostrich and camel. That's what they told me. But that was all urban legend too. That's not my real urban legend, so I'll get to that in a minute.
Now, was this just about Rax?
Yes, that's just about right.
Just
I mean, it could be
about,
Arby's too. Who knows?
Hey, man, don't besmirch Arby's. We're just
true.
concentrating on Rax. I don't know why
That's
you got to
true.
take down the entire roast beef industry in the U.S.
Sorry. Arby's, you're in the clear for now, but I know that big Buford's hiding something.
They've got ham now, man. They're just trying to prove something to you.
What? When will they stop?
I got all the ham they need right here. I don't even know what I'm.
They were dealing burgers. The Good Burger release. I saw that.
Don't give away that commercial for free, Beck. You make Arby's pay you. Next week, this podcast will be sponsored by Arby's.
God, I hope they can pay me in curly fries any day.
I did used to have on my business cards, Michael Beck, I have the meats, but then I got a letter from Arby's corporate saying,
cease and desist, my friend.
It didn't help you had that very provocative picture on your business card.
Yeah.
Of me trying to shove 3 Arby's sandwiches simultaneously into my mouth.
Hey, it won Crystal over.
All right, guys. I really hesitate to share this here, but so my urban legend, it really kind of, it spooks me out because this happened back in my high school era, late teens, early 20s. But similar to yours, Dwight, there was a place nearby. I'm not going to say where because I'm not going to share too much out of fear that the spirits will come for me. So there was a graveyard. It was almost like just a little, I don't know what you call it, Potter's Field, not Potter's Field, but it was just kind of like very spooky, like the Conjuring type graveyard. There was like all these creepy trees and everything. And everyone said that buried there.
Trees are creepy.
Well, these were creepy trees. They didn't grow anything, but they were still standing there, and they were like looming over these graves. I'm just setting the vibe for you here. But anyways, so the urban legend was that there was a witch buried there. I don't believe it was a witch. I believe it was a very nice person who was just misunderstood. And I just want to put that out there. But anyways,
if this should get back
the
witch in parentheses, quotation marks.
If that's
the
spirit,
witch.
I'm not saying witch. No, that's what other people said, not me. I had a very mutual respect. I don't know if it's mutual, but at least for me, it was all respect. So people would go up there and maybe partake in the devil's lettuce. I don't know. So anyways, whenever someone would go up there,
is the devil's lettuce marijuana, or is it something that's actually related to witchcraft?
No, it's marijuana.
Okay.
So people would go up there. Maybe I went a time or two, and bad things would happen to them afterward. There was someone, and maybe it was just because they were too stoned afterwards and did stupid things. I don't know. Anyway, someone got in a horrible car accident afterwards. Like a group of 4 students in high school went up there, and just someone said in the car that the person driving just kind of swerved, and they were telling them, stop. No, come on, get back to the line. What are you doing? And they hit head on to another vehicle. And that did happen. I don't know what happened in the car, but they did get into a head on collision. So that's a fact. I myself one time was up there, and after going up and doing what people did up there, there was one of the most awful storms ever swept through. And I was left probably about a mile and a half from my home. Like a friend dropped me off there and said, "Hey, we'll be back in a bit." And I was like, "Okay." And I saw the sky was getting really black. And then so I was like, well, I don't want to, I'm going to walk home because I think I could get there. Maybe I can beat this storm. Well, I got about halfway there and it started like hailing and it was getting really bad. So I was like, okay, I know the person who lives here. Like, he's not like my close friend, but he's a cool guy. And I'm going to knock on the door and see if they'll let me stay here till the storm passes. So I knock on the door and they're like, yeah, please come in. And anyways, so the power kicks off the moment I step inside. That's ominous. And then within 3 minutes, we smell gas and they have a gas leak. And I'm like, lightning is going to strike this freaking house and it's going to blow up all because I went up there and smoked some weed. Like, so now you know, this is why I'm not laying out any other details. I hope that spirit is resting well, doing well, whatever you want to say, which, nah, I don't say it, but other people might. I think we're cool. I mean, no ill will, but that was an urban legend. There you go. That's my hottie urban legend.
If this witch had a name, hypothetically,
Yep.
Did you know the name of the witch?
Hypothetically, yeah. Once upon a time I did, but I've tried to erase it from my memory bank so that I don't even think about it to even associate with it. But yes, there was a name on that, whatever tombstone, at least part of a name. So, and people said the name, but anyways, I don't remember what it was. Once upon a time I knew what it was, but nope. Not anymore.
What this story has taught me, Slice, is that somewhere in southern Ohio, there is a cemetery.
You've already said too much.
Yep. Shit, Beck.
Where you can find the dankest, most incapacitating shit. and just have the paranoid Tommy your life up there.
When I finally got home, I laid in bed watching Hudson Hawk, and I was so gone. I also took some Sudafed earlier that day, and I swore I would never smoke weed again after that. It was wild. But most of that did happen, to my best of my recollection.
Welcome back, everyone. My second hottie, my homegrown hottie. This is just for me. What's really hottie for me is a good silver lining. You know, and hopefully this will be a recurring theme in some of my hotties. And the cloud with the silver lining for me right now is, so our car was rear-ended a month or so ago. I don't know, it was fine. I'm fine. Crystal's fine. Coco's fine. Coco, our dog, got a little shaken up by the car accident, but it was fine. What was ruined in the accident was our bumper sticker at the time, which I will talk about in the Naughtys section. That's right. Exciting for the listener.
You're doing a lot of great teases this episode. Just
yes.
Good.
Well, we
foreshadowing.
All right. Anyway, so the old bumper sticker destroyed, and my wife and I decided, well, this is finally the time to order that 1964 Lyndon Johnson campaign bumper sticker for our car. That's right, our All the Way with LBJ bumper sticker slapped on the back of the car. And for the young or simply elderly and ignorant listener, Lyndon Johnson was the 36th president of the United States. He signed into law lots of things that are being phased out now, like the Civil Rights Act of 1965, the Voting Rights Act of 1964, Medicare, Medicaid, and his most important achievement, and I cannot emphasize this enough, was drafting male baby boomers to fight and sometimes die in a proxy war against Russia. This is all of this we need to bring back. All of this. The Civil Rights Act, Medicare, Medicaid, wars in Vietnam. They don't necessarily have to be there, but again, just as long as we draft male baby boomers into the army.
Yes, as long as we send boomers to combat.
Yes. 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 Silver linings. Now, I will say something regrettable about the bumper sticker is I didn't know what was going on in the 60s. I do know what was going on in the 60s. Lot of drugs and a lot of drinking at work. But the graphics don't look quite right because the colors don't look quite right because the bumper sticker says all the way with LBJ in blue on a red background, and it's not as easy to read from a distance as it would be like today. That those blue letters would be like outlined in white, so it would jump out more. But here we go.
Blue and red always gives me fits whenever it's trying to read. Just you got to put that white border or just make the white text. I mean, that's the easiest thing to do. But
we didn't invent graphic design until the mid-70s.
Right. Shoot, I thought it was Photoshop in the 90s, but well, I guess the 70s works too. Still some duds out there. I just can't wait to hear about these bumper sticker revisited.
No, you can't push it.
I know, I can't. I'm not, but I'm just excited. I'm excited. I was like, where are we going? I've got so much to say about naughty bumper stickers. Anyways, yeah, silver linings are great, and it's a good perspective to have and, a way to, stay optimistic through this thing we call life. And I really admire that.
There's our first T-shirt.
That's it.
Silver linings to get you through this thing we called life.
That's it. That's right.
It slices smiling face. That's all the shirt is.
That's it. Here we go. Throw it on there.
Two Hotties and a Naughtys, the show that cares.
I've never gathered the commitment to put a bumper sticker on my car. I had an Obama magnet bumper sticker that I had in 08.
Do you remember what you did with that Obama magnet?
I put it in my trunk after the election, as a normal person does. Once the election is over, you don't keep driving around with stickers on the back of your car.
Dwight, you have forgotten that was your second Obama magnet. Your first Obama magnet was when I came out to everyone as finally throwing off the shackles of my bullshit Republicanism and came out as a proud Obama supporter at some point in like October of 2008. You immediately marched out to your car, you peeled that Obama magnet off of your car, and you slapped it on the back of mine. Oh, I'm so glad I get to reintroduce that memory. I don't remember doing that at all. Yeah, it was great.
All right, so my homegrown hottie for this week is combos. The one and only snack. One of the greatest snacks ever created. Combos, the perfect road trip food, the perfect yes, it's like it surpassed trail mix back years ago, in my opinion. Who needs that other fluff? Just give me that pretzel or cracker crust and that delicious cheese flavored filling. Personally, pizzeria pretzel #1, and then I like to go with the buffalo blue cheese #2. So after that, it all becomes muddied, but my top two right there. Gonna be driving a little bit tomorrow to go up to Columbus to get on an airplane, and gonna grab some combos on the way up, and nothing you guys can do about it. I love it.
Listen, road trip food, I don't know what it is. When I'm on a road trip, I buy things at convenience stores and eat things that I would never, ever eat if I was just stationary. It's something about going down the road. Every can and bottle of Tahitian treat ever consumed is on a road trip.
Yeah.
Combos, sixlets,
cowtails.
Yes.
What I don't know. What are cowtails? Are they like a beef jerky?
No, cowtails are I guess
like
caramel
caramel
type of thing with a creamy middle, but it's the consistency of paste.
think of it was like as a Slim Jim. It's packaged like a Slim Jim. It's a big long like tube of like supposedly caramel out.
If you saw a
exterior.
cowtail, you would recognize a cowtail.
Yes, or else you really didn't grow up in Dayton, Ohio. But yeah,
cowtails are from the Midwest, my friend. Cowtails,
big time, and they
you know what, when we went on road trips, obviously, you know, my father had prepared, you know, like a roast goose and several racks of lamb, and we had some ostrich egg omelets.
He was actually shooting pheasants as he drove down the road.
My father wearing his fox hunting jacket and that little black hat they wear.
Meanwhile, I got a can of Vienna sausages and a Zero bar with a Mellow Yellow. That was my road trip food growing up.
Oh, Zero bar is such a great call. Mellow Yellow is a great call. Fuck. I'm like, I'll be 3 hours into a drive and be like, you know what? I haven't had a Hawaiian punch in a long time.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yep. See, my kids, they always go for those stupid little juice boxes that have like the character heads on them. And I'm sure that they're just like not even better. You know, little hugs, like the little barrels and everything, those little barrels. I bet those are way better than what they put in that stupid thing that just has like Chase from Paw Patrol on top. But they want it just so that they can have it. And it's like 5 times the price of like a little hug. But nope.
I love that fatherly rage in stupid little blank, because it can really be anything, can't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Stupid little socks, stupid little math class.
I'm offering you the world. I wasn't given these choices as a child. You can have anything, and this is what you're choosing?
Yeah, I'll get you like a cherry Coke. I'll get you a big fountain drink. I'll get you a slushie. But no, you choose Dora the Explorer over here with this like, and it's like this big. It's tiny. Meanwhile, you get like a big gulp. But no, here we go.
I can't believe, Slice, that you braved that witch and all those Russian ICBMs in your childhood to have such ungrateful, thoughtless children.
He's a glutton for punishment because of the witch and the nukes, and now he wants his kids. Now he wants the kids to have full ass bladders on a road trip.
She was a nice lady, probably a bad reputation. You know, things got twisted. I didn't say witch. I don't think she's a witch. I'm just saying that.
All right. I take it back. She was definitely not a witch. I'm sorry. Let's just move on. Can we move on? We'll leave the poor lady alone.
Please. Yes.
All right.
Let her rest in peace.
All right. My hottie this week is a nice local bakery.
Ooh.
We found one in St. Albans recently called Montanero. Shout out to Montanero Bakery. They have great macarons. They make their own pepperoni rolls, West Virginia classics, in-house. My favorite thing they make, butterscotch cookies. It's like a sugar cookie with a little butterscotch in it and then butterscotch chips. And they don't have them all the time, which is good because I would be dead of diabetes. Dead. Would not hear from me right now. They have little lemon blueberry bundt cakes. Just fall apart, man. So delightful. The guy running the counter, this is, I was about to say, he now knows me by name. And I thought, oh, wait, I don't know his name. That makes me an asshole, I guess.
Excuse me, Counterman. Give me my Pennybun.
I mean, to be fair, if he's running the counter, you probably hand him something with your name on it every time when you're buying something. Meanwhile, he's not handing you anything with his name on it.
That's
now,
true.
Is he?
He has to look up my name in the rewards program. That's what he has to do.
Or at least he used to. And then once you started coming 5 times a week, he's just like, oh, there's Dwight. He's here.
The rewards program at the local bakery, I love because that top prize of the Cadillac Eldorado is, man, that's it's a lot of cherry pies, but it's worth it.
It's we've been going fairly consistently for maybe not quite a year. Uh, and I've not heard of any of these rewards I've won yet or achieved. Like I've not got like a free cookie out of it. And at this point, I'm not going to ask. It's just going to be a nice surprise whenever it
It's coming.
happens.
It's
I keep
coming.
giving my name and phone number there, but all right, right there, going to rack some more of this up.
Mm-hmm.
Dwight, what you're doing is you're proving that your heart is pure, and someday you're just going to inherit the bakery, like
That's exactly
the end of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Can't wait to lay off all the people that work there and immediately sell the real estate.
Man, what are you going to do with $75 worth of St. Albans real estate?
For a micro corner lot in St. Albans? Yeah, I don't know. No, it'd be a good place for a fruit stand.
There is also a local bakery close to us, and I may have mentioned on the show before, my wife and I moved into a new house about a year ago, and there's a bakery, I don't know, a mile away maybe, and I am so grateful that this bakery, which I will not name, sucks, because if it were good, I would have your toe falling off problem that you're so afraid of, Dwight, because I cannot say no to a delicious, high quality baked good. It's really my Achilles heel.
I have a local bakery, but that shit's expensive, and I can't afford it. So, it looks good.
If you just had a can of Vienna sausages, you could have cracked on camera just there. That's great.
well, in the background, we see your kids like drinking the big jugs of Fiji water.
And I'm eating some bimbo bread over here.
What'd you call me?
Bimbo's a bread factory here in Huntington, by the way. So just in case anybody thinks that I call Dwight a bimbo pretty frequently, but no, this time I was referring to the bread factory here.
Not anymore, sir. Not anymore.
Not anymore. He's pure now. He's reformed. All right, it's that time of the week. Kick this off with the naughties. So my naughty is teenagers. Yep, near and dear to my heart, teenagers. Fortunately, I only have one at this point, but in a few years, I'm going to have two of them. And speaking as someone who was a teenager myself once upon a time, I sucked back then. Yeah, I was big time naughty. I did some dumb stuff. I was pretty rude and inconsiderate and everything. And don't get me wrong, I love my sons. They're great. And they're very sweet and everything. But it's the little things that all add up. And, it's not just my sons either that I'm mentioning here, but just teenagers in general. Those hormones, they're raging and whatever. And they just, they don't listen whenever you're like, hey, before you throw your clothes down the laundry chute, why don't you turn them right side out so I don't got to dig through your crusty socks and underwear and also find 12 pencils in your pants pockets? Come on, empty those pockets. But I think about all the times I didn't empty my pockets either and had to be told the same thing. Man, teenagers are the worst. And
the best part about this is I know, for the sake of your family, you are leaving out like the things that annoy you the most. It can't be that turning the pockets inside out is the worst thing about having a teenager.
Well, no, it is. Well, it's, there's bad grades and not doing homework and things like that too. But, I procrastinated on that stuff as well. But honestly, yeah, the laundry really sucks, man. Until you start doing someone else's laundry pretty religiously and they don't turn their goddamn socks the right way out and they constantly leave things there, or they let their dirty clothes pile up until they're throwing down at least 3 loads all at once just when you think you've caught up on laundry. Yeah, laundry's a big factor there. I'm just going to lay that out there. Now, there's some other stuff out there that, maybe sneaks out and does things or whatever. But you know what? Those I kind of smile upon at times and say, all right, we don't do that. Okay, you had your fun, whatever. But when I've religiously asked, please, I don't want to turn this crusty thing into. No, never mind. It's
you
not
gotta
because
stop
of that.
saying crusty.
Yeah,
You gotta stop it.
It's crusty because he
not...
walked up bare, like with socks on out in the grass and everything.
That's why.
That's why. Nothing else. I don't want to even think about that yet.
I'm so glad we're still talking about it.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I'm trying to fill a lot of space here.
No. Our producer just asked if we're cutting this out. No, this all stays in.
Yep.
Slice, how old is your oldest boy? What, 13, 14?
Yeah, the first year of teenage years, and it's already.
He can take it from your friend Michael Beck, an educational psychologist. Make him do his own fucking laundry.
Well, I've tried. That doesn't end.
He's
well.
got girlfriends now, right? I mean, that he'll figure it out real quick if he's not doing his laundry. Like those girls will go
you were
away.
trying to say something like the girlfriend was gonna come over and do the laundry for him.
No. I'm saying he won't keep a girlfriend if he's not washing his clothes.
I don't know, man. These girls nowadays, I don't know if they wash their clothes.
He's going out with all these hippie patchouli chicks, man. They don't shave their armpits. They're listening to Jim Croce out back. I don't know about these chicks, dude.
Cat Stevens, I don't trust any of this. This is not the father and son reunion in my house today.
I'm glad you went first. I almost chose as my naughty just children in general, but you're right. We should be more specific with our naughties. We should narrow them down.
We'll save those young kids for later. For right now, it's just teenagers. God. And just middle school. Middle school is the worst. Like when they're first starting out as teenagers, the drama and bullshit in middle school, the bullying, all this, the fights, that I hear about.
And they're too cool
nonstop.
for everything.
Yes, exactly. And by the way, like these nerds are coming out to me like, oh, I heard this new band. It's called Weezer. I'm like, no, you guys are just listening to the stuff that we listened to back in the early 90s now. Now I know how annoying I was when I was like, hey guys, you hear Jimi Hendrix? What? No. God, get a clue, nerds.
Imagine a 13-year-old Michael Beck going up to his father saying, hey, have you heard about Frank Sinatra? My dad, listening to good music. Is John Prine and Warren Zevon and Jefferson Airplane and so forth. And me like, the problem is we don't have enough Sammy Davis Jr. in this house, Dad.
Sure, they write their own music, Dad, but there's no soul.
Father, have you heard of George Gershwin? Huh?
Sure, Dylan's great, but he's no Aaron Copland.
Just wait until your kids go through their long, weird medieval music period where it's all fucking lutes and la, 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 la. You'll be longing for crusty socks then.
Dad, we have to go to Pied Piper and get a lute.
New Vivaldi tracks, fire.
I found a website that has all the chords for Limp Bizkit songs on lute.
Give me something to break into.
I hate that AI is going to be creating all of this. All of this is going to exist.
It's going to be stored in Skynet. Yep. This is why the robots are going to kill us, because this conversation, Skynet, this was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Now, teenagers make me think of too many hormones, and too many hormones bring me to my naughty mixed martial arts. I'm being naughty. Let me do that again. Teenagers make me think of too many hormones, which brings me to my naughty mixed martial arts.
Boo.
Yeah, MMA. It's just gross, right? It's just human
I like
cockfight. Slice.
I like it.
You like it?
I like it. I like MMA. These are people who willingly want to go out there. They train their lives and they go out there. I get it. Not everybody likes it. Autumn hates it. She doesn't like watching people get hurt. But these are people. That's like Karate Kid, man. Everybody likes Karate Kid, right?
Well, I get it, but they give a platform to the worst people.
Yeah, there's some duds out there.
Racist, anti-Semitic people. The guy who owns MMA, Dana White, is a giant Trump-loving douchebag.
He doesn't own MMA. He owns the UFC, which is one of the central figures of the MMA. So I get that. He's not really a good example. Like, he's a good example to present, but he's not a good example for MMA as a whole, because he's pretty sleazy. I give you that.
But he is. I mean, if you're talking about MMA in America, you're talking about UFC.
Well, there's Bellator. There's some other ones as well. I don't know if Bellator's in there.
I do not like how in the weeds we're getting here with MMA.
See, now, you may say to Dwight, well, this is kind of, are you sure you want to go out and have the stance as much as you love professional wrestling? Yes, I do. There's a huge difference to scripted, athletic theater.
And we all know all those guys are really good, not racist, nothing like that.
Not all of them, but
I'm a real American. I fight for the right of every man.
Now, Slice, how well do you know me? I was the only 8-year-old at a wrestling event booing Hulk Hogan.
That's true. You are a legend for that. I will give you that. 100%.
I was cheering for Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig as hard as a little 8-year-old boy could, to the amazement of the rednecks around me.
Right. Yep. No, props for that. But I'm just trying to say,
I also don't pay $70 every other week to watch wrestling like people do with MMA.
Well, I don't either. I go to a Russian streaming site like any self-respecting individual. I probably get 12 viruses, get a bunch of like spam porn ads on the sides of my thing, and it's really not up to date, so everyone really knows the outcome before I finally find a reliable stream. But I watch them when they're the big ones, when they're the big matches, But no, I get it. There's some real sleazeballs out there in the MMA community that believe the earth is flat and a number of other ththings. But
to be fair, that's everywhere. I think it was really tainted for me when I had Guillain-Barré syndrome and I couldn't move in a hospital, and 2 residents who were watching over me, and I couldn't breathe. I was on a ventilator, and I was real snotty. I couldn't breathe, and they got mad at me for using the call button because they kept talking about MMA. I could hear them. The only thing that really worked for me were my ears, and I could hear them showing each other clips on their phones of MMA when I was struggling to breathe. So maybe these 2 bras are the reason that I really hate MMA.
Yeah, understandable.
And you said these gentlemen were residents, so they were medical doctors.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh.
One may have been an intern, but they were responsible for my well-being.
Yeah. No, and like the government definitely said, "Oh yeah, you're legally allowed to put your hands in people." To both of these guys. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. There's just like I said, in the MMA community, which I don't consider myself part of, but there's some duds out there. There's some real duds out there, some really big broskies. But I think, I respect.
I'll sum it up. I don't watch Kevin Spacey movies anymore.
Sure. And Dana
White.
White
How I feel about MMA.
And that's why I wouldn't give Dana White money. Dana White is a sleazy bastard, and so I definitely respect that.
Beck, pull us out of this hole.
It's time for me to finally unveil this bumper sticker naughty that just the suspense has been crushing everyone.
I hope it's about a bumper sticker.
Please. Calvin.
The old bumper sticker. on the back of our car before we got rear-ended was also a reproduction of a classic vintage political bumper sticker from the 1960 presidential campaign. It said Kennedy Johnson. And it was awesome and fun when we got it in like 2019. My wife purchased it at a museum. We both enjoy classic old-timey liberal politics. We are fans of John Kennedy's style. He was a good but very overrated president. Anyway, once COVID came along and friend of the show Robert F. Kennedy Jr. became a prominent national figure, this bumper sticker went from being a thing where like the occasional old person would say, "Oh, hey, JFK, I remember him," to, "Hey, yeah, Kennedy has a lot of good, interesting ideas, doesn't he?" Yeah, no. So all of a sudden, this bumper sticker became a point of entry into talking to strangers, which is already horrible talking to strangers. But the subset of strangers that wanted to talk to me about Junior Kennedy. Oh, and just a lightning bolt from the sky saved us. There we go. Tying into silver linings. Yeah, a rich literary tradition we have on the show. The lightning bolt that struck the car, destroyed that bumper sticker, and I got to replace it with Lyndon Johnson. Very excited.
Who did with the Kennedy Johnson bumper sticker? Who did they think the Johnson was? Did they think it was the Big Johnson from Myrtle Beach shirts?
Yes.
This is a great question. People, there were some neighbors of ours walking past, caught the bumper sticker when we were parked in the driveway, like when in that time when Junior Kennedy was still running for president but hadn't selected a running mate yet, and so they thought that like there was some idiot in the country that my wife and I were plumping to be Kennedy's vice president, whose last name was Johnson. You know,
it was
Former
actually
Dallas Cowboys coach Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, sure. Some other jackass is
Boris Johnson.
Oh, so you want?
Oh, it's Boris
Junior
Johnson.
It was
Kennedy?
Boris Johnson. He was crossing over.
Boris Johnson could have been the Speaker of the House. That jackass, the one who watches pornography with his son.
Mike Johnson.
Mike Johnson. Yeah, there we go. People have asked if it's him. So now it's great because now we have Lyndon Johnson, who most people don't know who Lyndon Johnson was anymore, which is sad for me as a former history teacher, but great for me as someone who doesn't want to have to talk to weird anti-vax people in the Kroger parking lot.
I was really hoping that your old bumper sticker was going to be Calvin peeing on Nixon. That's what I wanted to see. That would have been the best.
If it had been Calvin peeing on Nixon, that bumper sticker would have been carefully preserved.
Right? You would have carefully scraped it off of the destroyed bumper because
It would have been Nixon pissing on the fire in Vietnam that Kennedy and Johnson started. There, I said it.
Speaking of Vietnam and teenagers, Slice, I think that I have a solution to your problem as well.
I'm not going to send him to war over some crusty socks, okay? Not yet. Not yet.
Hey, there are a lot of years between now and 18.
All right, so I guess we should look at last week's polls, right, boys?
Yes, let's see who gets to decide the...
It's very exciting. Okay, so the first week we did this, Beck won.
Mm-hmm.
And the second week, I won.
All right, come on.
And this week, let's review the polls. So the first poll was, what's the hottiest, hot dogs, cardigans, or hot dog chili? As I was worried, hot dogs really split the vote, and cardigans ran away with this one.
Beck.
Hey,
Damn
that's
it.
just smart campaigning, Dwight. I mean, you can't hold that against yourself.
What's the hottiest? The free U2 album that was on iTunes 15 years ago, or however long ago it was. Automatic Ice Makers, or the new Ghost album. I am gobsmacked that the new Ghost album won this poll.
Yes. Hey, by the way, the new Ghost album is #1 on Billboard's Top 200, the first hard rock album to do so in the last 4 years. So suck it, nerds.
Do you think #1 on the Billboard chart is supposed to mean something to me and Beck?
No, of course not. You old fogies are too busy in your cardigans.
We need to listen to Slice, the voice of a new generation.
You guys are getting ready to settle down for some masterpiece theater while I'm out here just,
Our last poll, what's the naughtiest? Bending over, ticks, or personalized license plate? Ticks ran away with it, man.
Yes.
So Slice,
would win.
That's a win for Slice.
Finally.
Next week.
Finally. Third time's a charm.
Enjoy all that responsibility.
Oh, man, I don't know. Ooh. Oh, I gotta get something good.
Yeah, you got time.
Urban Legends.
All right. Well, that's our show, everybody.
All right. Well, have a great week, and we hope you'll listen next week. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell everybody.
Yeah, share the show with a friend, listener. Thanks for listening today. We love you.
Thank you for listening. This has been Two Hotties and a Naughty, a podcast about life's little victories and constant disappointments, as hosted by Michael Beck, Slice Hicks, and Dwight Slappe. Editing and production by Michael Sullivan. Our theme is Handel's Entrance of the Queen of Sheba for Two Oboes, Strings, and Continuo Allegro, as performed by the Advent Chamber Orchestra. Crystal Howe speaking.